a vast land, untamed and brimming with potential. This is where our story unfolds, a story of ambition, struggle, and unwavering hope. Ordinary people seeking extraordinary dreams, they journeyed across oceans, leaving behind familiar shores. In their hearts, a yearning for something more. These pioneers, these dreamers, were drawn by a beacon of hope. They envisioned a land where they could build their own destinies. This land, they called it America. Imagine a world on the brink of change. The year is 1776. In the 13 colonies, a spirit of defiance is ignited. The colonists, tired of tyranny, choose to fight. Led by visionaries like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, they take a stand. The Declaration of Independence proclaims a profound truth: all men are created equal. The fight for independence is long and arduous, but their spirit does not waver. From the ashes of revolution, a nation begins to take shape. The United States of America, a bold experiment in democracy, emerges. The Founding Fathers draft a constitution, a blueprint for a government of the people. The fledgling nation grapples with its newfound freedom. Pioneers push westward, driven by the desire for land and opportunity. They face hardship, but their spirit remains unbroken. The American spirit is forged in these early challenges. It's a spirit of resilience, innovation, and unwavering optimism. The year 1776, a year etched in history. 13 colonies dared to defy an empire. The air crackled with the fervor of revolution. Men of conviction and intellect emerged. These were the Founding Fathers: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin. United by a common cause, they believed in the power of ideas. The spirit of '76 was a rallying cry for independence. In Independence Hall, amidst the sweltering heat of a Philadelphia summer, a group of men gathered to shape the destiny of a nation. The year was 1787, and the echoes of the Revolution still reverberated. The Articles of Confederation had proven inadequate. The delegates faced a monumental task to forge a new government. They crafted a document that would become the bedrock of American democracy, the Constitution. The document established a system of checks and balances. It was a bold experiment in self-governance. At its heart lay a belief in the power of the people. The fight for independence was far from over. It was waged on battlefields and in the hearts of ordinary citizens. From Lexington and Concord to Valley Forge, the Continental Army faced a formidable foe. Outnumbered, they fought with unwavering courage. Theirs was a fight for freedom's flame, a flame kept alive by the sacrifices of countless patriots. The American Revolution was a testament to the power of an idea. It was a victory won in the hearts and minds of a determined people. With the final British surrender at Yorktown in 1781, a new nation took its place on the world stage. The United States of America emerged from the crucible of revolution. The road ahead was fraught with challenges. A fledgling government faced the task of uniting a diverse population. The spirit of '76 continued to guide the nation's course. The legacy of the Founding Fathers lived on in the Constitution. Their ideals would inspire generations to strive for a more just world. The American experiment had just begun. The ink barely dry on the Constitution, the nation faced a monumental task to bind 13 distinct colonies into a single union. The challenges were immense. Could this fledgling democracy hold together? Figures like Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson clashed over the nation's future. Their debates shaped American democracy. The Bill of Rights guaranteed fundamental freedoms. The young nation faced internal and external challenges, yet the American spirit endured. In 1803, the nation took a giant leap westward with the Louisiana Purchase. For $15 million, the United States acquired a vast territory. This acquisition opened up a vast frontier. It fueled dreams of westward expansion. Pioneers poured westward, drawn by the promise of a better life. They braved treacherous trails and harsh climates. The expansion westward was not without consequences, yet it embodied the spirit of American ambition. By the mid-19th century, the issue of slavery had deeply divided America. The southern states defended their right to own human beings. The North called for its abolition. The chasm between North and South grew wider. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860 was the breaking point. 11 southern states seceded, forming the Confederate States of America. America was now locked in a bloody civil war. The Civil War would test the nation's founding principles. The guns fell silent in 1865, but the echoes of the Civil War reverberated. The South lay in ruins. The nation faced the task of rebuilding. The era of Reconstruction had begun. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery. The 14th and 15th Amendments guaranteed citizenship and voting rights. Yet, the road to true equality was long. The nation began the slow process of healing. The year is 1861. The issue of slavery has torn the nation asunder. The southern states chose secession over compromise. They formed the Confederate States of America. In the North, President Abraham Lincoln vowed to preserve the Union. The stage was set for a conflict unlike any America had seen. Brother against brother, a nation born of liberty now locked in a bloody struggle. The Civil War had begun. From the fields of Gettysburg to the shores of Vicksburg, the fury of a nation unleashed raged for 4 long years. The North, with its industrial might and larger population, faced a determined Confederate army fighting on familiar ground. The Civil War was a brutal and unforgiving conflict. New technologies, like the repeating rifle and ironclad warships, made warfare deadlier than ever before. The casualties mounted, painting the American landscape with the blood of its own citizens. Yet, amidst the carnage, stories of extraordinary courage and sacrifice emerged. Ordinary men and women, black and white, rose to meet the challenge. They fought for their beliefs, for their loved ones, for a future free from the shackles of slavery. On battlefields like Antietam and Shiloh, the true cost of war was etched in the faces of the dead and wounded. The nation's conscience was shaken by the sheer scale of the bloodshed. The Civil War was not just a test of armies and strategies. It was a test of the American spirit, a crucible from which a new nation would emerge. As the war raged on, President Lincoln, wrestling with the moral dilemma of slavery, issued a document that would change the course of history. On January 1, 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation declared that all persons held as slaves within the rebellious states are, and henceforward, shall be free. The proclamation was a watershed moment, a beacon of hope for millions of enslaved people yearning for freedom. It transformed the Civil War from a struggle to preserve the Union into a fight for human liberation. African Americans, many of whom had already escaped slavery to join the Union cause, flocked to enlist in the United States colored troops. They fought with valor and distinction, proving their mettle on battlefields like Fort Wagner and Milliken's Bend. The Emancipation Proclamation did not end slavery overnight. It did not magically erase centuries of oppression, but it marked a turning point, a promise etched in the heart of a nation at war with itself, a promise that freedom, though long delayed, would one day triumph. In the spring of 1865, the Confederate Army, battered and exhausted, surrendered to Union forces. The Civil War, the bloodiest conflict in American history, was over. The nation, scarred and weary, began the long and arduous process of reconciliation. Reconstruction, as this era came to be known, was a time of both promise and upheaval. The South, its economy in ruins and its social order shattered, faced the daunting task of rebuilding. Freed from the shackles of slavery, African Americans sought to claim their rightful place in society. The road to reconciliation was paved with good intentions and bitter disappointments. The assassination of President Lincoln, just days after the war's end, robbed the nation of its greatest healer. His vision of a malice toward none, with charity for all, seemed a distant dream. The South, resistant to change, clung to the vestiges of its former way of life. Black codes, designed to restrict the freedoms of African Americans, were enacted in many southern states. The Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacist terrorist organization, emerged to terrorize and intimidate those who dared to challenge the old order. The rumble of the Industrial Revolution reached America's shores with a transformative roar. The late 19th century witnessed a surge of innovation and industrial growth. From Pittsburgh's steel mills to Detroit's automobile factories, a new era was born. Inventors and entrepreneurs unleashed a wave of technological advancements. Edison, Bell, and Ford became synonymous with progress. The incandescent light bulb illuminated homes and cities. The telephone connected distant voices. The automobile promised to revolutionize transportation. The rise of industry brought profound changes to American society. Section 2. The Forge of Progress. The relentless pace of industrialization transformed America into a nation on the move. Railroads, those iron horses of progress, crisscrossed the continent, connecting the Atlantic to the Pacific, opening up new markets and fueling westward expansion. The Transcontinental Railroad, completed in 1869, stood as a testament to American ambition and engineering prowess. It shortened travel times from months to days, facilitating trade, communication, and the movement of people westward. The frontier, once a distant and forbidding land, was now within reach. The growth of industry spurred demand for raw materials and new markets. America, with its vast natural resources and entrepreneurial spirit, was poised to become a global economic power. The nation's industrial output soared, propelling it to the forefront of the world stage. However, this rapid industrialization came at a cost. The environment suffered as factories polluted the air and water. Workers, often subjected to long hours, low wages, and dangerous conditions, began to organize and demand better treatment. The Gilded Age, as this era was known, was a time of both unprecedented wealth and glaring inequality. Section 3. A nation transformed. The influx of immigrants from Europe and Asia transformed America. Millions arrived at Ellis Island, seeking a better life. They brought languages, customs, and traditions. The melting pot metaphor captured this era. Immigrants faced discrimination and challenges. The rise of cities brought new social problems. Overcrowding, poverty, and crime were concerns. The Progressive Era addressed these challenges. The women's suffrage movement gained momentum. Their struggle culminated in the 19th Amendment. Section 4. A new century beckons. As the 19th century drew to a close, America stood at a crossroads. It had emerged as an industrial giant, a nation transformed by technological innovation, westward expansion, and the arrival of millions of immigrants. Yet, it also faced challenges to its ideals of equality and justice, as social inequalities, racial tensions, and labor unrest simmered beneath the surface. The 20th century would bring about unprecedented challenges and triumphs. America would be drawn into global conflicts, face economic depression, and witness a civil rights movement that would challenge the nation to live up to its founding principles. Yet, through it all, the American spirit of resilience, innovation, and the unwavering belief in a better tomorrow would endure. The nation that had emerged from the forge of the Industrial Revolution was poised to play a leading role on the world stage, for better or for worse. The epic journey of America, from its founding to the dawn of a new century, was far from over, It was a journey that would continue to captivate the world, inspire hope, and spark debate for generations to come. The 20th century dawned with promise and uncertainty. America emerged as an industrial powerhouse. The First World War engulfed Europe in 1914. The sinking of the Lusitania ignited public outrage. In 1917, America entered the war, tipping the balance. The war left an indelible mark on the American psyche. The nation emerged changed, wary of entanglements. Jazz filled the airwaves and the stock market soared, yet storm clouds were gathering. The stock market crash of 1929 marked the beginning of the Great Depression. Banks failed, businesses shuttered, and millions were unemployed. The Dust Bowl added to the nation's woes, displacing countless families. In 1932, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was elected, promising a New Deal. The New Deal provided relief, recovery, and reform. Programs like Social Security and the WPA offered jobs and a safety net. The New Deal expanded the federal government's role. Its legacy continues to shape American society today. The fight for equality and civil rights, a struggle deeply intertwined with the nation's founding, gained momentum after World War II. African Americans who had served their country returned home to face continued discrimination and segregation. The civil rights movement emerged in the 1950s and 60s, inspired by Mahatma Gandhi and led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks, challenged segregation and discrimination. From the Montgomery bus boycott to the March on Washington, the movement captured the nation's attention with its powerful message of equality and justice and determination in the face of violence. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 were landmark achievements guaranteeing the right to vote for all citizens. The fight for equality continues and stands as a testament to the power of ordinary people to bring about extraordinary change. The latter half of the 20th century was marked by the Cold War, a geopolitical struggle between the United States and the Soviet Union. The two superpowers, each possessing nuclear weapons, engaged in a tense standoff. The Cold War was fought on multiple fronts, ideologically, economically, and through proxy wars. The threat of nuclear annihilation loomed large. America emerged as the sole superpower, its victory a testament to its might. The collapse of the Soviet Union brought new challenges, including regional conflicts and terrorism. The 21st century dawned with the tragic events of September 11, 2001. The attacks ushered in a new era of global challenges. America continues to grapple with its legacy of liberty, equality, and opportunity. The epic journey of America is a story of progress and enduring challenges. We stand now at a crossroads of history, a nation forged in the fires of revolution, shaped by the sweat and toil of generations, tested by strife and division, yet bound by a shared dream. The story of America is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of brilliance and ambition, alongside struggle and injustice. The quest for a more perfect union continues. America has always held a unique place on the world stage, often viewed as a beacon of hope, a symbol of freedom and opportunity. Its ideals have inspired countless individuals across the globe. However, America's image abroad has also been tarnished by its contradictions. The challenge for America in the 21st century is to reconcile its past with its present, to live up to its founding principles. The world is watching, as it always has, observing whether America will rise to meet the challenges of this new era. Despite the challenges, there is reason for hope. The spirit of America, the spirit that fueled its founding, that guided it through its darkest hours, that inspired countless acts of courage and innovation, is far from extinguished. It's the spirit of ordinary citizens who, time and again, have risen to meet extraordinary challenges. It's the spirit of innovation, of entrepreneurship, of pushing the boundaries of what's possible. It's the spirit of compassion, of service, of extending a helping hand to those in need. This spirit is evident in the countless acts of kindness, generosity, and resilience that define the American character. It's in the volunteers who rebuild communities after natural disasters, the teachers who inspire future generations, the activists who fight for social justice, and the entrepreneurs who create jobs and opportunities. The future of America rests not on the shoulders of any one individual, but on the collective spirit of its people. It's a spirit that transcends race, religion, ethnicity, and political affiliation. It's a spirit that binds Americans together, reminding them that they are stronger together than they are apart. The story of America is not a finished book, but rather a story still being written. It's a journey of progress and setbacks, of triumphs and challenges, a journey that continues to unfold with each passing day. As we look to the future, we carry with us the lessons of the past, the wisdom gained from both our successes and our failures. We embrace the ideals that have guided us from the beginning: liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice for all. The road ahead may be uncertain, but the spirit of America, the spirit of a nation forever striving to form a more perfect union, remains strong. It's a spirit that calls upon each generation to do its part, to contribute to the ongoing experiment that is American democracy. The journey of America is a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit, to the belief that even in the face of adversity, we can strive for a better tomorrow. It's a journey that belongs to all Americans, a journey that continues to inspire the world.